What's good, y'all? J Boogie in full effect mode. Bun down is the sound. You know how we do. This is, of course, the Lounge Presents live streaming on Twitch. And today in the lounge space, we are honored and happy to have in the lounge space for the very first time this gentleman, Shark from Camp Breakers Crew. Hello,
Thank you.
sir. Salute.
Hi. Thank you for this opportunity to have me in this podcast. Yeah.
It really is an honor. I want to start off before we get into our first question, just letting people know how this came about. Obviously, we know what's happening in the Middle East. We know what's happening in Palestine, right? And everyone's affected by it. Obviously, in the most, if you're human, it's going to affect you. Period. If you've got blood in your veins and you breathe air, it's affecting you. You know what I mean? But then I heard about your crew. I heard about Camp Breakers Crew. And then I started to look a little bit more. I started following the social media pages. I went to your YouTube to look at some of the footage you had. And it brought the situation even closer to home because even though you and I don't know each other personally, and this is the first time we've ever talked, we are
Yes.
already connected by one thing, and that's hip hop.
Yeah.
So seeing this happen to your crew in Palestine, being that you are essentially a part of, my community, the hip hop community, the breaking community, it was impossible to try to get you on so that we can get you in the lounge space and learn a little bit about you, about Camp Breakers, and obviously about how it has affected your crew.
Yeah. In the beginning when we started it we didn't know it's called or it's something related to a community that existed out of Gaza called hip hop.
Okay.
It just came by itself. We
Right.
saw some videos at the beginning, and then we were like inspired from some battles, like we have seen Battle of the Year 2000.
Okay.
It was
Yes.
it was really like rare in that time to have internet, but we got this video, uh,
Mhm.
and then we started just to try, and step by step we understood these are the basics and we have to follow, and step by step of course we had our own definitions for everything because we didn't know in that time how to speak in English or to understand what they are talking about.
Right.
And yeah, with the time, like my first time when I heard about hip hop, it was in 2008 9 as a definition of hip hop.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then when we like started to get stronger internet in the area in Gaza Strip, we started to search and look for more knowledge. And in that time, it was really difficult for us in Gaza Strip. It's not like right now. We have better internet. Everyone can reach every information about anything in the world through internet right now. And in that time, we started to have more knowledge and more information about hip hop. So we were like defending, and talking about breaking as a sport in that time for the community because it was not that acceptable because they thought it's Western culture, because
Mm.
it was also with music, and for them it was strange. So we were calling it the sport of breaking gravity, and
Okay.
this is how they started to accept our dancing, and also when we mixed our local issues in Gaza Strip in our dance shows, like doing contemporary in this form. Also in that time we didn't know about contemporary or modern, we just wanted to do shows that people can watch and accept. And so this is how we did it. So we had like two parts in our shows. First show about an issue that people can be attractive to it and just pay attention to what we are doing and to understand about what we were doing like as a tema, and then we made the second part. This is what we also always wanted to do, like pure breakdance show. So every show we have done like two parts for people, and step by step people started to accept us more and more. Anyway, yeah, and about hip hop. So also it was not that easy to call ourselves in that time b-boys, because it was kind of misunderstanding. When people see b beside boy, they will think directly bad boy. So also we called ourselves at the beginning camps b-boys, and when we thought about b-boys as a word that could be misunderstood, we changed it to breakers in that time.
Okay.
Yeah, this is how we called ourselves actually, camps b-boys, and then we changed it to breakers to not be misunderstood from the community. So we were
Okay.
defending the culture and defending the breaking scene in Gaza Strip since when we started.
Okay. Okay. So Battle of the Year, obviously pivotal battle that has inspired many, right? And it's doesn't surprise me that it reached Palestine. You know what I mean? Because if there's one thing that I've realized, having, you know, been a part of hip hop culture for most of my life, is that its global reach, its global impact is so much larger than most people like to think about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's only obvious when you tell us about how your crew first started up. Let me ask you this: when you started taking breaking a little more seriously, you did mention that you had to change up a couple of things to make it more palatable to the people around you. So what was the perception of hip hop culture at the time,
What
other
do you
than the
mean?
fact that it's a Western influenced?
Okay, it's not that easy to be like to accept something just came from west, like
Yeah,
suddenly it
yeah,
had to conform itself to something which is uh, copying and
yeah.
walking with the culture and the tradition in the country. Of course, we had to respect that too. I mean, I'm really sure everyone in the world had to conform, and I mean to transform
Yeah.
the art to be accepted
Yes.
where they want to have to do. So, for example,
Exactly.
in Gaza Strip, uh, yeah, when we knew that it's not acceptable in Gaza, like pure breaking, so we have to find another way to be acceptable, and this
Right.
is how we mixed our issues that we are living in Gaza. For example, we have done many shows about the siege, about the wars, about not giving up, and the the racism walls. Also, we have done many shows about these issues because we also in that time believed if we show our community that we are also important and have a role in the community to show the world our suffering through our dancing show, so they will accept us more and support us more and more. And this is how uh, we proved to everyone who didn't believe in us, for example, in our community, that we are something important and having an important role in the community. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I feel you completely on that. So let me ask about your immediate family. How did, when they saw that you were really serious about breaking, how did they receive that?
Okay, actually, at the beginning it was not easy because they were like scared from being attacked from other family members, like in traditions, and I mean in
Yeah.
culture, like in Gaza Strip, you have also big family. Like if my family name is Algaris, so the Algaris family are big family. It's not only the parents and their kids. So
Right.
it was in somehow uh, a challenge for my family, for my father, especially because he's like the man of the family, so he have
Yeah.
to defend his sons when someone comes and ask about what we exactly are doing, or threat some bad words about his son. So what he have to do? And someday he just came and asked us, what are you exactly doing? So we showed him some moves, and he was like, this is sport, this is gymnastic moves, so you don't have to care about anybody. So I you have my back. But it was also in somehow he wanted to see his sons, for example, like succeeded in the life. So he was also pushing us to study and study, and because for us as an educational culture and community, we have to have our certificates. And uh, this is also was a challenge for us, for me and for my brothers and the other teams. Like, you have to study, and you have to make a balance between your personal life and your artistic life in a situation that everybody know it's not that easy, like in Gaza Strip. So with the time, like when people started to make interviews to be like a bit famous in the area, people started to accept us more and more and started to send their children. Then it was like completely clear that my parents are supporting us, because we didn't go to any other directions, like drugs or anything else, you know. Yeah. So right now, for example, I was at the weekend in France, in Battle de Vogue, and
Yes.
I heard that my father just watched the battle, and he felt a bit like emotionally, you know. I got this news, yeah.
Oh,
And I was like, oh wow, nice. So now you are
that's
asking me
awesome.
about this, and the answer just came to me today, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is how they feel right now.
that's awesome. I mean, one of the reasons why I asked that question is because a lot of us who were first, when we were first introduced to hip hop culture, we had a lot of similar uh, backgrounds in terms of parents who had expectations of us and
Yes.
who saw hip hop culture as a little weird. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But everyone that I've ever interviewed on this podcast and everyone I've ever met in my life, we have a lot of similarities when it came to us discovering the culture and then getting really serious about the culture, because we all had parents who were either immigrants, first generation, second generation, third generation immigrants, and as I'm sure you're aware, when your parents come from another country, their expectations of you are going to be high because that's the reason why they immigrated, to make a better life for you.
Yeah.
So obviously they're going to wonder, okay, wait a minute, so now my children want to do what? But what about the degree?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so and that's one thing. It's a commonality that we all share as people who have started to really take hip hop culture serious and make it a huge part of our lives. And that's why I wanted to ask you that, because that's yet another commonality that we share. You know what I mean? In terms of
Yes.
our families had to
Yeah,
wrap their heads around
it's
the
actually a
idea.
good question from you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. What was it about breaking that spoke to you specifically? You know what I mean? Because not like some people will see breaking for the first time and they'll clap and they'll cheer and be like, wow, that's unbelievable. But not everybody is necessarily going to say, okay, now I'm going to do that. So what was it about breaking that spoke to you personally?
Okay, actually, I exactly remember that I was all the time like walking on my hands and
Okay.
doing headstand, and
Hmm.
someday I did small slide and did a head spin and just went down on my legs. And
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I was born in Saudi Arabia, and
Hmm.
when we knew about breaking, it was our first time in Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
And I did this before I know breaking, and this is how we got the possibilities to get the videos in Saudi Arabia. The internet was before in Gaza Strip, so
Okay.
we watched first time Flying Steps. On Battle of the Year, and they were like battling also another Japanese and South Africa versus, I think, I don't remember exactly, but I mean I watched also another like battle. I had these two videos. The
Yeah.
second video was like a battle between France and the US.
Okay.
Many b-boys, many old b-boys.
Yeah.
I remember Kareem from the US. I remember, I
Okay.
think, Lamine, Benji, Salah from France.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I still remember them.
Nice.
Yeah, and before that I was walking on the hands, and also before that my brother was watching Michael Jackson and doing his moves.
Hey, there you go.
Also like Britney Spears moves, like
Yeah.
choreographies, like everything. Like it was modern in that time for
Yeah.
us in Saudi Arabia. And step by step, someone came to him and told him, I have something called funky in that time.
Okay.
And funky was like doing windmills, doing head spin, doing these
Hey.
moves, and then he we called it funky, and we knew it, like knew about how it. I mean, after this, in maybe 3 4 years, we knew it's called breakdance.
Right.
We at the beginning, for us, it was funky. Yeah, and
Nice.
and when my brother moved to Gaza Strip in 2001 2002 to study at the university, because we are Palestinian, even if we were born in Saudi Arabia, we are
Yeah.
Palestinian. Yeah, and I'm also refugee in Gaza Strip. So my original land is doesn't exist anymore because it's unoccupied, and it's not there anymore. So yeah, my brother went to Gaza Strip to study, and he didn't find anybody doing any breaking move or anything. So he started breaking. He's the first one in Palestine in Gaza Strip. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and for me, I was like competing him. Like he had a crew, and I was like, okay, I can also make a crew. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yes, but we decided at the end to be one team, and we called ourselves Camps Breakers. Yeah, and yeah, for me, it was clear that I mean, in this, I find myself in these moves, because it came by itself. It was like a way to express ourselves without we know it is like this,
Yes.
or it was like this. Yeah, even when we were doing our shows, I remember about the wall, the racism wall. Uh, I remember that I was really expressing myself, and when I just take a look to the past, I feel that yeah, I had this before, but I didn't know that I had this talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It happened, just happened because of
That's awesome.
the acrobats, the moves. It was something special, and this is what we needed to trust ourselves in a new community. I was always like in a strange community, because when I was in Saudi Arabia, I was as a Palestinian, and when I was in Palestine, I was a Saudi, and now I'm in Germany,
Yeah.
but Palestinian. It
Yeah.
is like this. Yeah.
If I could, I would like to ask you, like obviously we know that there's breaking going on. Are there other aspects of hip hop culture that are also starting to grow, whether it be emceeing or DJing or graffiti writing?
Okay. Do you mean in Gaza?
Yeah.
We have graffiti. We have also
Okay.
rappers. We have rappers. The first rappers in Gaza Strip called Palestinian rappers, PR.
Okay.
Some of them were called like Nurdin and RFM, I think, DA. The first rappers in Gaza Strip. The rest are new, like MC Gaza, MC Abdul,
Okay.
Muhammad Lafi. I'm glad to say these names actually because
Good. Yes.
I also saw their evolution, how did they developed themselves, and some of them stopped and some of them traveled, and yes, it's really crazy. The hip hop scene in Gaza Strip.
That's awesome. I
Yeah,
love to hear that.
yeah.
What about DJing? Is there
Oh,
any
DJing,
turntablism?
it was not that easy to have a hip hop DJ, like really
Yeah.
scratching, and
Yeah.
we don't have this. Maybe we have some people who have the this DJ machine, but
Oh, the controller.
not, yeah, not like
Yeah.
how in hip hop events, for
Yeah.
example. We didn't have this. We have also beatbox in Gaza Strip, you know.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Siraj Shawa. His name is Beatbox Fox.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. I saw a video. There was a Camp Breakers video. You actually had an MC in the video. I
Yeah,
saw it
yeah.
on YouTube.
MC
Who was
Gaza,
that?
I think.
MC
Oh,
Gaza?
it depends on in which video did you see, because
It came up 4 months ago.
uh
It was
I don't
on
know.
the Camp Breakers YouTube page, and it was
Laffy.
it
Yeah,
came
yeah,
up
yeah.
4 months
Laffy,
ago.
Laffy, Laffy, Laffy.
Yo, he got flow.
He is one of the best.
I couldn't understand him, but he got flow.
Yeah, he got flow, and you know that he do like he make the beat, he make the video, and everything what you
Dope,
see in the video.
dope.
He do this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have really talented guys. Really, really, really. Nobody know about them.
That's awesome. No, I love to hear it.
Yeah.
One thing that really one thing that I love seeing is learning about hip hop cultures from around the world, and so, like just like you yourself said, how they adapted the culture into their own to make it something more organic. I love
Yes.
seeing that. Just everything
I,
you described.
I can also tell you more because I am a nurse, and with the time I decided to study more about trauma, and I'm now a trauma counselor and
Right.
educator. And I also wrote my graduating project about how to use breaking element as a trauma solver. And
Awesome.
I also mentioned hip hop and the elements and the branches of hip hop and explained everything. And I also studied dance therapy. I also wrote about breaking in this graduating project. And yeah, I'm really sure that we have our own methods and techniques of using exercises and teaching lessons for traumatized, especially for children, because yeah, we have been teaching really since long time ago, and we have and we believe in our way of teaching. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is so dope. I love hearing that. And if there's one thing that is obvious globally is how hip hop is has been a means of creatively not just expressing something from himself, but being able to speak to whatever affects your life, no matter where you are in the world. So, just like what you said, how being able to use the culture to protest, being able to use the culture because that is, if you look at the origins of hip hop, there was a lot of protest involved in the origins of hip hop. It was
Yeah.
speaking to power. It was speaking against the
Person.
injustices.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
How it came out,
yeah,
in US, it came also out in Gaza Strip from nothing, Nobody,
exactly.
nobody came to us and told us this is hip hop and this is breaking and here's the basics. Come and take this and that and learn this from us. We were our own teachers,
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, and we still believe in this because yeah, if people thinks that uh, we are not also have the right to say this, no, we say it. this is how we have it. And
Yeah.
many people says that in Gaza Strip is the real hip hop, and I didn't say it, but thanks that people said it, because I was always believing that what we are doing is the real hip hop, and
Oh yeah.
it's the new revolution of hip hop.
Oh,
Yeah,
what you are doing is hip hop. You are definitely expressing through the culture, and you're definitely sharing with the world. And you know, after looking a little bit about what your crew has been able to do, your crew has brought even more attention to what's happening in Palestine, because you're not just the regular mainstream media. You're now speaking out to people who have a connection with you through the culture. And you've Camp Breakers has brought a lot of attention to what's going on in Palestine. I see all the fundraisers that are going on around the world for Camp Breakers. So it is so obvious that your crew has been very instrumental in helping get the word about the struggle that you all are going through right now.
yeah, yeah, really, definitely. You know, we have been doing this since 2004, as I told you, 20 years, and
Yeah.
it's I don't want to say it, it's kind of too late that people knew finally about Camps Breakers and what they are or the were doing since these years. But thanks God that people are standing with us right now. I'm really appreciating this, and I'm really thankful for this, because, as I said, many people told us, how don't you give up, or why didn't you give up before? I was like, why? I'm helping my community in my free time, because I was balancing between my personal life and my artistic life. So I was not really fully depending on my artistic life, and I was like working as a nurse, studying, visiting Gaza every year to support more and more. And with the time, we believed that one day or the day will come, and thanks God that the day came, that people opened their eyes and found us. And yes, I'm really glad for this, that happened finally. Yeah, thanks for everyone, and really, really thanks for everyone, and for the people who stand and support us.
I definitely have to salute all the crews around the world that have been doing fundraisers for Camp Breakers and to help you guys out, because if you don't know what's happened in Palestine, then you've been living under a rock. And the way it's affected your crew personally, it 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 broke my heart to see your school just in rubble. It broke my heart to find out some of your crew died in airstrikes. Like that
Yeah,
that's just it just it's so much to bear, but you continue on. And of course you should. You
yeah,
are
it's
obviously
ours.
leaders.
If of course, yes, it's like it's our responsibility, because we felt it long time ago in 2009, when we started to spread breaking in Gaza Strip from north to the south, because we were the only b-boys or breakers in Gaza Strip and in Palestine. So this is the same. Now we also have the same feeling. We feel responsibility, and we have to show up, and we have to talk about what is happening in Gaza Strip, and we have to stand with our community till the end. We cannot just leave them right like this. No, we always believed what we are doing is a message to the world, and now we can speak louder, and we can do podcasts, do interviews, videos, shows, everything, like representing Palestine is something also important, because it feeds our issue in the world and make more awareness about what's really going on Palestine. Yeah.
There was a really great moment from Battle de Vaux that I saw. If you could share what that special moment at Battle de Vaux that happened. They presented you with something, and that was the most it was the most awesome thing to see.
Okay. The dabka, it's our tradition dance. It's like
Yeah.
folk stands.
I love Dabka.
And
So dope.
yeah, and I was like, oh, I have, I was like, I have to do something special, and I thought about it. I asked my brother, I asked Funk, my brother, I asked Azam, what do you think about it? I asked even my mother, and they were like, "You have to do dabka." And for me, I like to watch dabka, but I didn't dance dabka before. This
Yeah.
was my first time, my
Yeah.
first time with crowded or in front of audience, and I was like, okay. So for me, I still remember the moment. I just enjoyed it, and when I watched the video, I was like, "Whoa, this is cool." Yeah, yeah. The Dabka moment for me it was really special, and all of the event and being like in Lyon, in the city of Lilo, where he's living, and for me it's really a pleasure. People just appreciate what we have done, and of course. Lilo, much respect for him because he dared to support us and support Palestine,
Yeah.
not like any other dancers. And I'm really thankful for this. And he have been supporting our crew since long time ago, like sharing videos for us like every year. And yeah, yeah, yeah. This is also another story. I don't want to just get into it, but we just wish that everyone in the world, every artist uh, feel the same, or at least be a human and stand with the right people. It's not about uh, uh, conflict or something like this. It's about just to stand with humanity. If you don't have feeling, if you don't have uh, the right feeling for what is happening in Gaza Strip, so go and go to a psychiatric, really. If you don't see that people in Gaza are like getting killed and innocent people are getting killed, and this is not okay. If you don't see this like this, and you think that how the others says they are like they deserve to die or something like this, so please go into psychiatric and ask yourself, are you a human or not? Because absolutely this is injustice and against humanity. If you stand with it, you are not human. Yeah, and artists have the rights. They can do anything they want when they want. But for us, we lost relative people. We lost our school, and we have been also living under attacks for a long time. Uh, People have to know that we don't have the rights like they have. Uh, but at the same time, we feel that we are more free than anyone else. Yeah.
Well put. Very well put, I must say. Shark, I really want to thank you for spending time with us in the lounge space today. Like I said, the story of your crew was so inspiring that it was just necessary to get you on so that you could share this with everyone because like the only way to put it is, I mean, honestly, let's be real here. If you're human, this is going to affect you. If you're human, this is going to affect you. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then I don't know what you are. I just don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm even, sick. I didn't even tell you that I'm sick, but I just, again,
Oh,
I wanted to do it because, uh, yeah, you asked me a long time ago, and I was like pushing, but I was like, no, I have to do it now.
I'm glad you set a
Yeah.
time for us. Most definitely. And I want you to know that once you've spent some time with us here in the lounge space, after this, it's an open door policy. Anytime you have something that you'd like to talk about, we want you to come back and talk to us with it.
Okay.
And I want to salute you and everyone in the crew, and I want to salute your resilience, and I want to salute your leadership.
Thank you. Yeah.
Definitely. Enjoy the rest of your day, and peace to you and everyone in Gaza, okay?
We just hope that this stops now. Now it's like 200 one day, and it's too much, so much, really.
Yes, 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 please.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All
We'll
right.
stay in
Take care,
touch.
man.
Thank you.
All
Peace.
right. Be easy.